The movie Music of the Heart is now playing in theaters across the country. It stars Meryl Streep. It is directed by Wes Craven. It is based on the true story of Roberta Guaspari, a violin teaching single parent who talks her way into a job teaching violin to children at an East Harlem public school. Her program becomes a model for arts education in public schools and for the value of perseverance against all odds. Here are some excerpts of Meryl Streep for a lengthy conversation about her extraordinary acting career. We will present that in a one-hour special edition, the first of a series of specials you'll be hearing more about in the coming weeks. Tonight, a preview of that conversation in which the Academy Award-winning actress talks about Music of the Heart and her introduction to the violin. Tell me about you and the violin.
My relationship now, or
yes,
when
now,
it began? Now I'm sort of in the market for a teacher up in the hinterlands where I live. I'm looking for somebody, because when we were shooting the movie company paid for a member of the Philharmonic to travel 2.5 hours every day to my house. I'm too cheap to do that. And I don't think they could entice any member of the Philharmonic to have me anymore. But yeah, I'm trying to sort of start at A. What I did was sort of jump in a linebacker's sort of approach to the violin. Really hard, fast push, you know. Because I had 8 weeks before we started filming, and it's not, and then over the course of the filming, it took 4 months.
Yeah. Now, what was your experience with the violin before that? Before you took on this movie?
I thought they were beautiful to look at. Nice shape,
yes.
like paintings of them.
And they made nice sounds. So this was
I admired them in other people's hands, but I'd never
Had you even picked one up before?
No, and that's an experience. The one, my teacher had an incredible, my teacher this summer had a Stradivarius. Yeah. And it's, you do get the little goosebumps holding that instrument.
What was it necessary for you to do in this role with this violin? What was it important for you to at least get over the hump to play this role?
Well, I mean, when I agreed to do the picture, I thought that they would digitally realize my fingers on the thing. You know, I thought that there's all sorts of magic. But in a low-budget film, there isn't that ability. So I realized pretty quickly I had to play. Also, I thought that they could sort of silence the strings, so that if I just got the fingering right and the bowing looking authentic, that they could pipe in the music. Yeah. But evidently, there's sort of no way that you can draw the bow across strings and not have it go, you know, silent. And then I would be talking at the same time, so they didn't get a track. So I had to play the violin. And that I was playing. And she was also on set, sitting next to the camera while I was working. So
does that add to the tension?
Well, yeah, she's a very demanding person. So I wanted to make it right, and I respect the musicians in the film too much to just sort of stomp all over their art form. So I wanted to give myself at least the best possible chance at learning it, authentically learning it, and then, you know, leave the rest to God.
What was hardest about it, learning it?
What's really hardest is going like this for 4 hours a day. You hold it basically so you can move your arms like this, but you hold the violin to this side, like that. And,
so it's muscle tearing.
Basically, you get a crick in your neck that's, I mean, I was like Quasimodo or something. All I wanted to do was go, you know, to this side. Yeah. Oh, I can still feel that.
Did you have any reluctance about taking the role?
Yeah, I turned it down in the beginning. I'm sort of the second string. Madonna was hired to be in the film, and they were all geared up and ready to go, and they had their, you know, crew hired, and they had teachers for all the children, and they were all set. And then when she dropped out, they had a month, and they didn't have a big budget. And it was a labor of love for Wes Craven, who was making an out-of-genre film.
Known for horror films.
Known for, the Scream movies and Nightmare on somewhere. I hadn't seen it, so I just, came in late, and they sent me the script. I loved the script. I loved the story. There aren't that many wonderful parts that come my way that are so thoroughly authentic.
That when he very much wanted you to do this, and you turned him down, so he wrote a letter in his own handwriting.
Yeah.
Saying what?
Well, he introduced himself to me in a way that I was I've never gotten a letter like this from anybody, I guess, actor or director or anything, but just sort of laying out why this was a film that he had to make. He'd been a teacher, and he'd, at the, I guess, high school level and university level, meant what he felt about teaching as a neglected and undervalued institution, how much it meant to him as a filmmaker to tell this particular story, how he'd fallen in love with it from the time that he sat on the documentary committee of the Academy Awards, whatever that body is that looks at documentaries. And Susan Kaplan had done a story about Roberta Guaspari that was in the documentary division of the Academy. Wes fell in love with the story, had a screenplay written, and negotiated with Harvey, which is sort of the biggest mountain to get over. And
the negotiation with Miramax.
Yeah.
But you marry your passion for this is an interesting role. You look at what's out there, and you say, this is something I could love. And then comes the director, and his passion marries yours.
Yeah, and also I did begging of my own. I said, I would love to do this film. I was seduced by his passion about it and his enthusiasm. You never really get that in business that much. But the other thing was I needed more time, so I asked him. We both had to lie down under the steamroller and see if they would give us 4 more weeks.
Did you get it?
Yeah, we got it.
I believe in about 5 weeks she was playing well enough to play all of the elementary pieces and had learned them by heart. And we put the Carnegie Hall concert very much towards the end of the schedule. And I don't think it was more than about 3.5 months that when she was playing the Bach double cantata on stage with Itzhak Perlman and Isaac Stern, and I was standing next to them during the rehearsal when she ran through her piece, and both of their jaws just dropped open, and they looked at me and said, do you realize her form, her fingering is perfect? It's Meryl Streep.
The idea of doing a film about someone who's living, breathing, sitting next to you.
Yeah.
There are films of her, documentary films in her classroom, showing her kind of a hidden camera.
Yeah.
There's so much there about the real person. How does that fit in terms of what you do and decide to do in bringing this real person to life on film?
Well, everybody thinks it's a bigger responsibility to play somebody who really exists, but in my mind, everybody that I've played really exists. I have to believe that they count as much as if they were sitting next to me or inside of me. I just feel like I always feel that responsibility to fictional or non-fictional characters. With her, as I said, it was just sort of unnerving to have her watching my fingering. I didn't like that.
7, 8, 9. She moves. The thing is, that's a signal to them to play. When I move, that's why they're coming in.
She was very generous. I can't imagine on the other side, having someone make a movie about your life. I think she was very generous with the circumstances of her life.
Does it, though, because you're now going to take lessons, is this a love affair that has begun between Meryl Streep
No. It was sort of site-specific, but I did love it. And I was sort of thrilled to know that I could learn something new at my age, and that the brain cells were not dead. To pick up a whole new sort of thing, it sort of makes you come alive in a way.
We'll be right back. Stay with us.